It's literally like one of my favorite games ever. Yeah, you can join. That's why that's why I'm here. Yeah, don't stress it, OP. It's no big deal.
Oh,
What's up, dude? I'll make sure I send you all the bill in the mail by next week, so y'all can all this training I'm
go
getting.
straight to the prize pool. We'll win it back.
Yeah. Telling you, if you learn to be like, if you learn how to deal with your own like L's, your gameplay just improves so much better. It's like a way more better. Like, huge gap. Exactly. Hey. I understand. That shouldn't be your priority, in my opinion, OP. If you're trying to get better at the game, you shouldn't hope to win a single match against a good player. You should hope to like figure out what's going wrong in the set. Like, most important thing when you're playing a set against someone isn't the score. It should be like the in the moment, like mind games and what's working and what's not working. Scoreboard doesn't mean a damn thing when you're practicing the game. The only time it ever means anything is if you're in a tournament. What's up, mijo? Nice. What the hell is that? Sometimes it can mean that. Sometimes it can mean the person you're playing. I guess what I'm trying to say is don't get caught up in that, because sometimes those little things that you think are working out because you're putting in the effort could be because the other player isn't paying much attention or got careless once or twice, you know. It's not like, what I'm trying to say is you should prioritize like what's working, in the sense that like, did it work once? Is it consistent? Did I mean to do that? Did he mean to fall for that? Is that really what happened? Why did that work? Why didn't that work, you know? It's a lot of things you gotta like, I don't know how to explain it. I feel like I'm explaining it fine, but I don't know if you're getting what I'm saying. I don't know if you're reading my mail.
I mean, something I find valuable about playing top players like you and like Zero at Combo Breaker, and as we've been practicing, is like you expose every fake bullshit that I do. Well, that works on people my level, but turns out it's completely fake and should not be working at all.
Yeah, there are things that are also good to have, even if they're fake, but because a lot of top players know how to deal with the fake things, but sometimes they can be caught off guard by, even they could be caught off guard by stuff like that. But it's just like the mindset when you're going into training is not how close am I to winning, how close was I to winning the set or winning a game or taking in the red health. There shouldn't be any of that, in my opinion. Those things can distract you from what's more important. Nothing wrong with having little goals either, by the way. I'm not saying you shouldn't. I think there's a time and a place for little goals, though. Like I said, when you're practicing, the goal should be learning. If you're trying to play a set to see how well you do, that's different. If you're not trying to learn, you're just trying to see how well you're doing, that's fine, I guess. Like a skill gauge, I guess, or a little pop quiz. Because then you're just gonna play the entire set. You're playing that set, and the whole set you're playing it. You don't even realize like you're not learning anything. You're just doing the same bad habits, like hitting your head against a wall, hoping that it will break, hoping that the wall will come down. Doing the same things over and over, waking up DP, waking up DP, waking up DP, waking up holding jump, waking up holding jump, blocking a move and then pressing a button when you're minus, you know, like, and getting counter hit, you know, constantly happening over and over throughout the set. Not one time did you stop and not do that or consider that it's getting you killed. The whole set. Not saying you, I'm saying in general, like it's people get that mixed up with learning. I'm here fighting you, doing a thing that is hard for you to deal with. It. It's not really my skill that's beating you. It's your lack of awareness. Like, because I'm not being pushed to play a skillful way. Sure, I'm beating your ass, sure. But I'm not really putting in like any brain power behind it. I'm autopiloting. And it's notice I want you to understand I'm not disrespecting you at all, I swear. I'm saying that I'm not being pushed to the limit. And you think, maybe you don't think I am because you probably think it's too easy, but it's not even like a point where I feel like I have to like change my strategy, like, because you're not changing your strategy. You're letting me do the same things to you because, and it's not because I'm a better player or a skill. It's because you're one thing you're lacking is your own awareness or like ability to understand like your own like shortcomings. And like once you start watching your replays, I guess that's what it boils down to. When you start watching your replays, even if you lose, especially when you lose rather, you start seeing like, holy shit, I did that then? Why the fuck did I do that? And he hit me every time I did it. What is wrong with me? I did not stop doing it. I didn't even realize I did that. You start seeing like all the shit that you didn't even realize you did wrong. And how little effort it took for me to like accomplish putting you in a bad position or like punishing you or pressuring you. And like when you start putting me in a pressured situation, or rather when I start putting you in a situation where I'm putting pressure on you, you start seeing it too, because you're like, oh, I see that he's doing this whenever I do that. Or if I'm standing there for too long, he's going to do something like that. So not only are you finding out your own weaknesses and tendencies, you're actually also sort of maybe not truly, but have an idea of what my tendencies are. At least get like a beginning like concept of what I'm trying to do. Whether it's how I actually play or not, because how I actually play against anyone in a stream is not how I actually play in tournament. If you see the difference, if you know me long enough, the way I play in a tournament is not the same way I play in a set against my friends or the community on stream on Twitch. I'm not talking to anyone. I'm not reading chat. I'm not autopiloting ever. I'm fully aware of where I'm at and the situation I'm in. And it's just something that you can create for yourself as well. Like as a player, you're trying to be competitive because you're trying to get better and maybe win a couple games against your friends, or maybe win a tournament or do well in a tournament. That should be your focus, is learning and then creating your competitive side. So like kind of like how Roman's doing. Roman's a perfect example of this, right? So like Roman, what he's been doing lately, every week for like 150 tournaments that he was hosting with Trash Baby, he would like just stay in the Discord call and do commentary of his own match whenever he fought against an opponent like Kron or anyone, Alex or anyone, me or anyone. And sure, he would do fine, but he wouldn't do well. He would either do barely scrape by or like lose, right? But he stopped. He realized that that's getting him nowhere competitively. And he started, like, during his streams with Trash Baby, he would start muting the mic and turning off the stream, like minimizing the stream chat, paying attention to the match, being present and learning. And like I think he's done it for like the last 5 to 6 weeks. And the difference in his play in the short amount of time, even before the 5th or 6th week, like the first week or second week, his gameplay has improved so much in that short amount of time because he's building his competitive like persona, if you will, like his competitive like mindset. You see what I'm saying? Like his profile. I don't know if any of you guys have that yet. Like, I'm not saying that you don't or you aren't capable, but I would like to see it. And I know it's hard to see it in a stream. You know what I'm saying? So like, what you need to focus on, depending on what your goal is. If your goal is to be a competitive player or do well in a competition, even if it's just one competition, your goal should be to build that like competitive mindset and like refine it and temper it and like get rid of like your ego and your fears. There's nothing wrong with being nervous, but I'm talking about like fears of doing your move, fears of playing your game, fears of reacting to something or making like a spontaneous decision, you know? And if you get all that figured out, it's a lot, but I'm telling you, it's not that hard. There's so many people who are willing to help you get there, like me, Sonic, and everyone else, Monsoon, and all that. Once you get past that, and you have all this help, and you start using it and utilizing it, watching replays, watching YouTube videos, your gameplay is gonna like, I'm telling you, in like a week or two, you're gonna look back at your old gameplay from like that week before and be like, damn, I was garbage. Like, what was I doing? What was I thinking? Like, you know what I mean? Never played a game like this? Oh yeah, this game is such a unique fighting game too. This game puts you in situations no other fighting game has ever put anyone in ever. A lot of games, like even Street Fighter 6, has like aspects of Guilty Gear Strive with the canceling and the dash movement and all that shit, drive cancels and whatever, you know. Every fighting game seems to have a lot of things that a lot of other fighting games have in common, albeit they'll have like their own unique like system mechanic or whatever, right? Defensive mechanic or something, feature. But KI has like 8 of those all in one time, at all times. So it's hard, you know? It's very easy to pick up and fuck around and do like cool shit. But like, when you want to get down to the nitty gritty, KI has so much unique things. Like, for one, you're always playing the game. You're literally never not playing the game. Like, ever. You're in a combo, you're playing a game. You're doing a combo, you're playing a game. It's constant. More like what you said. It's okay to play against demons or top players, or what do you want to call them. But don't discredit lower level players either, especially if they're around your level or lower. I'm not saying you are, by the way. I'm saying that you're not gonna just get better by getting your ass beat 100 games in a row by me. Sometimes you need to actually win some games against someone at your level, or like get close games. What's up, cutie pal? What's up, Frodo? Big part of learning a fighting game isn't just, I just want to play the best players and just get my ass beat. That's how you learn. You lose and you learn. No. You're wrong. You're wrong. That's one way to learn. That's part of it. But most importantly, you want to play against people around your level who can give you opportunities to do cool shit and make decisions and not feel like you're just sitting here watching a combo video. You know what I'm saying? And like, there's nothing wrong with that either. It's good to play against top players 100%, but you should also like appreciate the people who are around your skill level and take them into battle with you and play a fuck ton of games with them, and you both become like pseudo rivals, and then next thing you know, you're both getting better around the same pace. So the next time you fight someone like me or whoever, it becomes like a different, you know, it becomes different, like the way you see the aspect of the match. And also a big thing that helps too is it's not just finding one guy that you want to train with that's around your level for like 1,000 games. One problem with training with the same person over and over is that you end up becoming acclimated to the way they play. So whenever you end up playing someone else, that feels like you feel like maybe they're scrubby or random, or it's like, this guy did, why would you do this here? My buddy does this here because it's more optimal. Yeah, sure, maybe for him it is, but like, now your brain's wired to fighting one guy, and the whole time you fight somebody else, it's like a fucking trip. Like, you're like, you think you're ready for the matchup. Oh, I played against my buddy Jimmy. He plays Gargos. I know how to fucking deal with Gargos. I played Jimmy 1,000 times. He's one of the better Gargoses I've ever played. But have you played any other Gargoses? See how different they are? There's a huge difference between players. So now you know how to fight Jimmy's Gargos, but you don't know how to fight Tony's Gargos. Tony's about to fuck you up. Maybe he's on paper worse than Jimmy, but you don't know how to deal with him. You don't even know how to deal with Tony. You know what I'm saying? Your boy. And that's a problem. Like, well, I was blessed and fortunate enough to have a lot of players to play with when I was getting good at this game. So I was playing like Raven, Calypso, Wheels, Nikki, Base, Hernandez, and we would alternate partners all the time. So I had a lot of players to play with, and you can do that too. Like, you can go onto the Discord, ask for games, go into streams, ask for matches, stream it yourself and ask for games too. And I want you to understand, like, I understand what you're saying. You don't just mean that. I'm not saying this just about you. It's not like, I'm not saying this in response to you as like this is like your problem and what you're doing is wrong. I'm saying like, I'm saying this in general. This is something that I've noticed in general, and I'm telling you what you need to do as a player if you want to get better. Like, play other people and play them often, and find other training partners, multiple, like 2 or 3. You know. And we're in a good spot, KI. We're in a good spot because we have so many people who give a shit about teaching other players. Sure, there are some top players who only come out for the money and talk shit about the game, but majority of them don't come around here and aren't really like good to learn from anyway, so it doesn't matter. So like, just find the ones that want to help you, because we're lucky. Our game has a lot of good players in it, and they all seem to want to help. Like Zero, me, Sonic, Hologram even is down for helping people when he's around. We got a lot of good players, and we got good up and coming players too, like Veneno and Dragon Blade, and Monsoon's getting there and stuff like that. So I mean, you know, you're lucky. Frodo's always down to help too, yup. And we have content on YouTube. We have weekly tournaments for rookies and all players. We have 3v3 events, 8v8 events where we try to cater to all the skill levels. We have a monthly, like, we have tournaments, offline tournaments. We have one this weekend. Like, We're lucky. We're lucky. There's some stuff cooking in the background I can't talk about. Like, there's a lot of cool things coming for KI, and we have still, in general. It's 11-year-old game. It's like 10 and a half years old. This game. Shit. Yeah, exactly, Frodo. Exactly. Those are some good examples. We're lucky. We're lucky because not many communities have that. Like NRS community has like 2 players I know that will train with you. Silvereye and Tweety. Oh, 3. And Gambler. King Gambler. Maybe Cores as well, but I don't know if Cores is that competitive. Yeah, Sneerful has a whole, like, think about it. What other game has a whole website dedicated to the game's tournament scene and results? Like, to every single extent, even like the online ones. That shit's crazy. Sneerful has his whole setup. Got the infill guide. Got my YouTube channel, got Nikki's YouTube channel, got Base's YouTube channel. Absolute Zero has YouTube videos. Trash Baby has YouTube videos. It's like a fuck ton of shit. A Discord that's actually pretty well ran. I mean, what more can we ask for, really? Sorry for talking so much, Ferrets. I know you probably want to ask some questions or something.
No, it's all good.
But yeah, guys, if you have any questions or anything, let me know. I don't care. I'm here to help. Oh, don't forget SVM. SVM is super fucking chill and also super knowledgeable. Like, they don't stream really that much, but like if they're ever in your chat, they'll answer your questions like straight up. Keats, the developer of the game, is always here to help people and support people and restream tweet or tournaments and donate to prize pots and help people get to tournaments. He helped me get to the tournament. Like, he commentates the game. Like, come on, man. That's fucking sick. Frodo is like the best Maya player in my opinion, so I think you should definitely be playing with him. What's up, Raquel? Hey, stop it. No. Can't do that. Oh, man. Anyway, guys. I don't remember what I was talking about, but sure. That's it. That's the T. Don't die. Don't die. That was actually an interesting combo. Whoa.
Yeah, I'm not sure what was up with the shadow like hanging there for a second.
Oh, you were flying across the map. What's up, Sonic? Speak of the devil. Speak of the Sonic, the dolphin.
Are you allowed to say "speak of the devil"? Is that?
No.
It sounds weird coming from you.
Yeah, you got me there. Yeah, we're just talking about players who learn to help. Yeah. I was just giving him a speech about creating like a maybe you could kind of like elaborate or have your opinion on this. I was explaining to them about creating a competitive persona, like you know, like me, like when I stream like KI, right? I'm not really in competitive state of mind. I'm more like having fun.
You're talking about like competitive mentality and
not just mentality, but what comes with that. So like, I mean, like my competitive persona is like the way I am when I'm like playing a tournament is not the same person when I'm playing a casual set or ranked match stream. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Okay.
you know that, right? I mean, you've seen the difference, right? Like, I'm for
Yeah.
one, and like how Roman, you know how Roman's starting to build his competitive like mindset and personality. Like, he's muting like and deafening off Trash Baby streams. He's minimizing chat, getting better quickly because of it too. You know what I mean? So like a lot of players have like they don't know what their goals are when they want to learn the fighting game. They just play and they just want to take a couple wins here and there. But if you have like a goal to be competitive, you should learn how to become competitive. Like,
So,
not just like have a good mentality, like not worry about losses or like whatever, but also wanting to improve and wanting to win and getting that urge to win and like that fire in your belly. And like,
the problem is that's different for everybody, though.
right, that's
Like-
what I'm saying. Like that's what I'm elaborating on. Like if that's your goal, you have to figure out what that is for you and like become like make that like something you work on and figure out what it is. Like what your goals are, how you feel, how you want to become, how competitive you are, how like serious you're taking it, if you want to like win or place or just beat your buddy up, you know what I'm saying? I don't know. It's like there's a lot of things you could do to become competitive, but one of the main things is one of the things I was saying to become competitive is learning how to like watch your replays and like learning how to like deal with that, you know, like that bittersweet pill of like watching a loss, like, and then realizing, oh shit, I watched this
Honestly,
loss, it was
just
hard.
the crappy replay system is the worst part, not even just the act of watching it.
No, I'm not talking about replays in K. I'm talking about like YouTube videos.
Sure, sure.
Yeah, like I'm not talking about ever. I don't watch my replays in this shitty ass replay system. Dude, the replay system in this game is so bugged. Inputs are like way off. It's like a desync almost all the time.
Not just desyncs, but just in general, like you can't really fast forward or back
Yeah.
up.
You go
So
and
it's
do
like-
frame by frames. Yeah,
Yes. But I think,
you must be eating something.
yeah, I'm eating dinner. I said.
Oh, okay.
I mean, for me
are you the
personally-
same player? Like, are you the same player whenever you jump in a stream with me and we're playing a casual like first to 10, first to 20, or compared to like?
I mean, here's the thing, I'm always trying to learn whenever I play. Like, I'm never
Yeah, you take it for
just
granted.
playing to mindlessly hit buttons and not think about anything.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, even when I'm talking to you, like, I'm paying attention to what's happening, even if my entire focus isn't on it.
Mm-hmm.
Because I can't really imagine not thinking about that stuff. Maybe that's just how my brain works, but
No, that's exactly what I'm. Dude, that's perfect because like that's the point I'm making. Like you already do that without realizing it, and you can't imagine not being that way. There are
Right.
players who to this moment, I'm not calling anyone out. I'm not at least pointing any fingers. There are players who are trying to play a set just to see how well they do as far as like the score goes, or like they're not really learning in every match. They're just like worried about the loss. You know what I'm saying? Which is like a bad mentality. Like it will hold you back.
Right. Yeah, if you're trying to like adapt over the course of a set or the course of a tournament, you have to like pay attention to what caused
The situation.
your loss and not be focused on like not be too tunnel visioned on trying to avoid it the next time. Because then you're not thinking about all the factors that led you to that point.
Also, that could be applied to winning too. Even if you won, you shouldn't just be like, "Oh, I just won! Oh boy!" It should
I
be
mean,
like,
that's what happens then is that the person adapts to your strategy and you don't recognize
anything. Yeah.
what changed. You're just thinking that, oh, I just guessed wrong or something, and it's like, well,
No.
why?
Yeah, yeah. Also,
Like, why did you guess wrong? Like, why? Like, where's your mind at, and what did your opponent figure out?
yeah, exactly.
It's like some people have this, like some people don't think about the little details of things where they think that, like, oh, like for example, a guess is just a guess, right? Like when you're fighting someone like
They're
a really good
educated
Thunder
guesses.
player.
Yeah.
When you're fighting a really good Thunder player, you're like, oh, I just have to guess, right? I just have to pick a direction and block or just throw out a DP or whatever, right? But the reality is that when I'm fighting someone like Hologram, I recognize like he has like a set number of
Options.
setup patterns.
Yeah.
and I also recognize like which one he's more likely to do depending on like where he is on screen.
Hey,
and
hold
how much
on.
health is left,
That's
right?
what I said earlier, guys. Remember, it's about knowing your options and what's the most likely one. Like out of all the options in a certain scenario, having the knowledge of knowing what the options are. Maybe not every single possible one, but what are the more likely ones? The common pattern he does. Like that's exactly what you should like try to figure out whenever you're like. They were asking me like, what do you do about TJ's power line juke at full screen? You know what I mean? Like, it's tough. It's not something you could just like
Another thing I
win against free.
encourage in that with that kind of question, and it's something that I encourage all the time is, you know, like understand the other character and like what the other person is looking for. Because, and this is something that is the reason I recommend people play other characters, because you understand like where the character's like actually weak at, and like what they're actually going for, as opposed to just thinking like you're not like that's the most important way to conduct neutral is like how to understand where the other opponent is effective and what they really want and like what the least risky option is and what the most risky option is. So when you're fighting a TJ player, and I'm not going to say I'm an expert at fighting TJs because I only really fight you, but what I consider is the fact that like TJ, if he wants to knock you out of the air, he has to like really wait for it. So the way you try and make it neutral hard for him is to throw in jumps at like unpredictable times and just make it so that, and then approach a space where doing power line is not a fast option and he can't rely on it. Like that's what I think about in that case, but it's different for every character, right? Where you have to just understand like where you want to stand and what options the opponent has and which one you care about the most.
I mean, which one bothers you the most? Like the back fist range, power line range, flying knee range?
The thing about TJ is that, you know, his rushdown is most effective at like mid-screen and slightly far, where power line is a fast, unpredictable move that you have to have specific timing to challenge, and reacting to it is basically impossible. So it's scary to stand at that range against TJ. So a lot of people want to jump when they're in that range, but if you're too close when you jump, then if he does nothing, he can just anti-air you immediately without having to reposition himself.
Even if you're too far, I could just flying knee cancel it and hit you out of the air.
Flying knee is a hard read, I consider, though.
No, I can react to it. Like I can pretty much do it on reaction.
I think the spacing on that would be very specific, but it's...
Sometimes if someone's like too close on that power line, I just roll and get out of it. Like,
yeah, what your goal is with TJ is to either approach a range or make him go into a range where you're like just outside of his button range, or like just at the edge of his button range if your own buttons are good. Like close enough for that, just so that power line becomes something that isn't a fast option to use in that range, where he wants to try and get a little bit closer and then use back fist or something else. So, or you can either approach that range by like timing your jumps to land in that space where it's hard for him to use an anti-air, especially if he committed to a power line at the wrong time. Or if you're more of a zoning character, you can force him to step into that range and like set up your positioning and projectiles to goad him there. Because if you do it wrong, he either ends up point blank, which isn't good for you, or it's too far away for either you or him to do anything immediately, and there's no threat. He just got space on you and didn't do anything.
Yeah, TJ's actually most effective at at close range or like full screen. Mid range, he's not that effective. His buttons aren't that great. He has a good back fist. It's pretty good. It's got a lot of priority.
Yeah, back fist is very good, but
it's just not like
TJ's main problem, and it's a similar issue that Spinal has, where it's like their weakest range is like right outside where their buttons hit.
Mm-hmm.
Like most of their fast buttons and anti-airs, like right outside that range. So if your character is good at dancing around that little bubble around them, like if any of you have seen like videos on like Marth and Smash and how they talk about like his tipper range and how you control that,
Yeah, I've seen
it's
that.
like you want to stay like right outside that effective bubble for these characters.
Every character
Like
has
the
a space like
reason,
that too.
the reason why like Omen is a character they hate so much is because Omen is a character whose both air buttons and ground buttons like hit right outside that range, and his movement is unpredictable enough that it's hard to. You pretty much have to make a hard read to get him out of that space. So that's what I recommend for TJ, because zoning him generally doesn't work outside of a few specific instances, and up close he does just fine.
Yeah, he excels up close, I think.
And at mid range is when he's scariest, because Powerline is an unreactable option that you really don't. Most characters don't have a better way of dealing with, and there's always the threat of roll, low profiling pokes and stuff.
Yeah, thanks for the follow. And also too, like when it comes to learning, like Sonic said, learning another character's options, like picking up a character, like you said, is a good idea. Also, fighting a bunch of players, like don't fight the same Gargos player every time. Find another Gargos player. Find another character or person who plays that character too, because you're just gonna end up learning how to deal with that player's options as Gargos, not like the true options.
Dude, I think the most obvious example of that is Eagle players. None of them play the same.
Yeah.
None of them. It's so much more obvious with them than it is with other characters, I think.
Yeah, I think Eagle for sure is one of them for sure. I think Gargos is a high one up there too. Idol.
Maybe Gargos. I wouldn't say.
I would. I fight them a lot for some reason. And Idol is definitely one of the weirdo characters that people like to play uniquely. And I mean, this game in general though, every person has a way of playing their character, and this game allows that expression really well, which is good. You know?
Depends on the character, I think.
I can't think of a single character that plays the exact same way all the time. Not one. And the only exception would probably be Shin Hisako, but I don't know. There's only like 2 of them. Oh, I know Arya definitely is probably one of them too. There's a lot of Arya.
Yeah,
like,
when I played TJ, I recognize like how sort of like how stilted his movement really is, where it's like his jump doesn't go very well horizontally. His air normals don't have a lot of range on them, and his power line moves very fast, but it's very easy to like whiff people if they jump at an unpredictable time. So it's when you play that character, you understand like those situations, and you know, better players are going to be able to circumvent those weaknesses and understand that they exist. But that doesn't mean that they can completely get rid of them.
yeah, they don't.
You just
they
need
don't
to
always not work.
find a way to exploit it that makes the rest of their game plan less scary.
That's what I was saying earlier, pretty much. That even like some of the best players in the world still have a hard time with TJ's like power line juke cancels at certain ranges. Like just something that there's no like clear cut answer to most of these things. Like Thunder's like tick throw setups, TJ's power line shit, like Riptor's tail flip, like instant cancel, like gimmick. Like there's just some things that you just gotta guess, and just knowing your options and the character's options like helps with like picking the right one at the right time.
Like it took me so long to finally figure out how to fight Hisako, because for the longest time that character just seemed perfect. Like
She's like a brick wall.
like just like neutral, like her neutral is ridiculous, her Oki's ridiculous.
Anti-airs, everything.
And her defense is like the only thing that's bad, and even then, like parry is always a threat. So it's like parry and wake up command grab are always threats that are annoying. And then eventually, I just figured out that like, oh, her walk speed is so terrible that if I can just get a life lead or get good positioning and just stand right outside her heavy punch range, then she has to do something something bad to get in. And then I can take advantage of that and just let her hang herself.
They usually do. They usually jump and do some bullshit and get killed for it.
And then I started bullying her on knockdown because no Hisako knows how to parry anymore.
That's funny because like that's like the new meta for Sako. Back then it was like parry city, but now like Absolute Zero barely parries. You know what I'm saying? He's scared of it or doesn't think it's a good option.
I tell him I feel like I tell him every stream, you need to parry more. Like you need to just do
we all
it.
do. We all do. He gets
Like,
pissed. He doesn't act like he doesn't get mad like outwardly, but you can see he's getting annoyed by like the advice. You know.
Someday I'll stop pressing lights there.
It's okay.
Not today, but someday.
At least you know. Being aware of it's part of the
Yeah,
problem.
being aware of that is good. Yeah.
Yeah, part of the situation. Some people have no awareness. That's what I was saying earlier too. Like, one thing about learning a fighting game is not like about how well you do in the set or the score. It's about your situational awareness and how much you're like absorbing like the mistakes you made or the mistakes that they made, and how well did you respond to those mistakes. But be it your own or theirs, you know.
And KI is a game that I think, maybe this is pretentious to say, but I think more than other fighting games, is something where so many different factors have an effect on the opponent's, on yours or the opponent's mentality that people just don't think about.
I was saying that earlier. It's like you're repeating exactly what I was saying. I literally said KI is like the kind of game that it's like no other game you're playing it. It's like it has so many things you have to worry about. Like it puts you in situations no other. It's
not even just a matter of mental stack. It's a matter of like
unique situations.
Of situations that influence someone's decision making, both like in combos and in neutral, where it's like
in combos and
do they like what's the life situation? Where's the positioning? What are their resources at? Like what do they?
Everything.
What kind of damage does their character do that they might be aiming for in a situation?
What do they open a combo with? Everything. You know what I'm saying? Like all that factors into levels.
And that's why like. And studying that is how I've gotten so much better at the breaker game and counter break game in general, is because I'm just like, I recognize all these situations where I'm like, this person's probably more likely to break in this situation. Or this guy's probably more likely to wait on the break and I'm going to go for something really breakable and they're not going to touch it. Or, you know, like, or this person thinks we just had like a really annoying scramble and this guy landed a hit on me. And the odds have increased greatly that he's going to try and counter break, and I'm just not going to press anything. It's like, it's situations like that where if you really like think back to your own habits, you recognize like these factors that contributed to your choices, and you in the future know how to like mix them up a little more and be more aware of them.
I know you're joking, Valdek, about reading people's thoughts, but like this game actually has like some level of like mind reading like behind it. Like I know it's not real. I'm just saying like in a situation where you're playing like me and Sonic, we play a set together. If we're actually trying to win, like both of us are like putting in effort and minding the game and being aware. The mind games are so fucking crazy. They're like insane. Like it's like, and sometimes we'll do something. And we'll both laugh because we both knew where our mind was in that situation, like in that moment. We'll be like, and some looking in, you won't know what's so funny, but like, yeah, like that we both knew, you know, we both were there in that little mind arena in that situation. It happens all the time.
Yeah, Valdek, that advice is like very good general fighting game advice that I say is like, if someone is not doing a thing that is designed to stop you from attempting something, then you should keep attempting it until they represent that thing. Like I said, I have been much more adamant about pressuring Asakos on wake up more because I realized that none of them parry on wake up because they're all scared of like, oh, is he going to mix me like high-low? It's like, okay. But if you get it right, you get a full combo on me into some of the most powerful Oki in the game.
Yeah, she gets like a level 3 off of one parry into one button. She gets like level 3 like
that's super instantly. Good.
Yeah, so cheap.
Like I throw out, and again, like you don't need to be so worried about the consequences depending on the situation. Like one thing that I say about Kim Woo a lot when I play as her is that I think this character would be a lot worse if people actually countered her correctly. Because there's so many things I get away with that character that people don't realize. Like, I will, as an example, everybody habitually now if I do a light dragon kick at them and they block it, they immediately just jab me and I fall. Every single time. But it's regardless of anything else happening. So what I realized is, oh, if I have a dragon on me and I do this and they block it, I'm just not going to cancel it because
Yeah, you don't get
they're
punished
just
for
going to.
it.
I'm just going to take like 3% and fall, and it doesn't matter. And it's even more hilarious to me when I don't have a dragon and they do that anyway. When I'm like, you could punish me so hard for this, and you're not. So I'm just going to keep doing it.
Yep, happens to
like-
the best of us.
And even characters, and there's even some experienced players like, you know, with some characters, because there's certain characters that can convert that into a full combo, like
me.
a juggle jab, like TJ, Cinder, Rash, like at certain others. And I was fighting Valorac's a combo breaker, and he never converted that once. He got like 3 opportunities, and he didn't land it.
His character definitely could do that.
So, and there's stuff like that with all sorts of characters where it's like, you know, if you whiff this parry, what's really going to happen to you? Is this player like ready enough to make that mistake matter or not? Like, one of the things that, you know, and I credit this to Devil a lot for teaching me this, but one of the things that makes competing easier is learning what you don't care about.
Literally.
Just learning what's like, you know, if I get hit by this thing or I miss this thing or I get broken here or whatever else, it's like, how much do you really care about it?
Yeah, are you gonna win
Like,
the initial anyway? Like, you know?
You need to just focus on like your own game plan, and until the opponent actually makes that a significant problem for you, you don't need to think about it so much.
Just waste of energy. It's a waste of mental stack, energy, and then sometimes when you get caught up in those situations where you're worrying about the things that matter least, you end up losing life. You're like, wait a minute, where'd my life bar go? What the fuck?
Like,
Sorry for Sonic's chewing. Okay, it wasn't that bad. Ooh, nice.
and like when I do get punished by something, like I mess up and I get punished by something, I'm just like, all right, I deserve that.
Yeah.
I don't think
Sonic says
anything.
fair enough. He actually
I'm just-
says it. Like,
I'm just like, it's like, all right, this is the consequences of my actions. What's next?
Yep.
Like,
yeah, that's true. If Sonic
You
will
know,
like do something stupid to me, and I'll like do like a response, and he'll be like, fair enough.
and and that's an important thing to say is like, one thing that I tell people a lot when it comes to mentality competing is like, can you justify every action you took? Even if it was wrong. Can you like in your head like reason out why you did that thing? If that's the case, then your play is better already.
Mostly.
Where
Yeah.
it's just like,
Sometimes there's false
yeah,
justifications.
like
you know what I'm saying?
I broke this thing because I wanted to do this. I wanted to have this situation. If I got counter broke in that situation and I messed it up, I'm like, all right, that guy outsmarted me. All right. So what does that mean?
It is what it is.
Either do I think he's going to do it again or not? Do I think he's in the mood to do it again or not? Is he the kind of player who will break my habits until I change them? Or is he the person who just did it on a whim and isn't going to do it again?
Right.
Is he the kind of player that would get frustrated if I did it again? That's also a factor.
Yep. For people's frustrations and knowing what gets them upset is very important too. So it's not easy, it's not always as easy to figure out if you're like new to the scene, but like if I know I'm playing against like I don't know, like I don't fucking know, Aphex or some shit. I know he hates when I wake up Tremor because it works a lot. And
Playing in an attempt to disrespect the person you're fighting is an absolutely valid tactic.
Yeah, it's
at all
viable as
levels
fuck
of play.
actually.
You like, because then the opponent loses their ability to justify what they're doing. Because now they're thinking to themselves, well, I'm sticking with this game plan that I thought was solid, but this guy just keeps like challenging it in the most stupid ways.
Now what do I do?
It's like, right? Like when I was fighting Alex last year, like he would like back off because he's like, this guy wants to DP, he's scared, it's grand finals, right? And all that. And I would just wake up, dash forward, throw him.
Yep.
And he's like, well, what the fuck do I do about this?
Now what?
Like, now what? Because I'm like, should I just start attacking him? And he never was able to get himself into the mindset to do that
too little,
because
too
of how
late.
stressful it was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He probably could have done it in the first of 10, but in the first of 3 situation, you don't got that luxury.
Mm-hmm. And first time offline had a little pressure, so that also adds to it.
Yup. Y'all get some heat right now. Y'all better be taking notes. This is some heat.
The scariest people you fight in a competitive setting are the people who are just focused on doing their best and don't care
Yeah, I just want to go in
too
and
much about their
I got so that was me a combo breaker. I was just happy to be there. I was like, all right.
That's me every year.
Happen?
That's me every year.
Yeah, pretty much same.
I've never gone into combo breaker saying, I'm going to get this far. Okay.
Yeah, so every time somebody at combo breaker was like, you're gonna get top pay. You know you are, right? You got this. And I'm like, maybe I do. I don't know. I don't fucking know. I said, I'm just gonna play.
I tell myself that I know that I'm capable of getting far, but I'm not going to expect to.
Yeah, exactly.
There's a difference between acknowledging your own skill and trying to make an estimate.
Here's the thing too, like if you expect to win, when you're in a match that you're about to lose, or you could clutch it up, but you're so worried about like how you're gonna look because you lost, even though you expected to win. Others said you were gonna win. You agreed with them.
I'm in a good position for that because I've already had plenty of people tell me that I'm really entertaining to watch. So I'm just like, I'm just gonna do what I normally do, and you know, it should work out.
You definitely are fucking one of my favorite players to watch. It like overall, it's fucking great watching you play. It's so fun. It's like always fun.
I mean, because I'm having fun. And that translates.
I've been told that too. I got James Goddard popping off for me. Dude, you're so fucking fun to watch. He's like, he said, you're so fucking fun to watch. I love watching your TJ. And I go, I love the character. You know, he's so sick.
You're gonna be more fun to watch if you're also having fun. That translates to people can see that.
You can see it, they can feel it, and they can see the gameplay in your face and everything. Like, it's all there.
They can see it in the decisions you're making.
Yeah, Sonic Dolphin's Kilgore is definitely probably the most fun character to watch in KI.
Which is funny because the people who don't understand the game as much look at my Kilgore and think it's a pain to watch.
Yeah, like,
because they
lame.
They hate watching people like lame it out. It's like, what's so special about this guy just mashing heavy punch and shooting this guy? And everybody who knows the game is like, how the fuck is he getting away with it?
Yeah, just like 8% 6 times in a row. Like, how's he winning?
8%, that's just...
I'm talking about like the missiles and shit, you know what I'm saying? And a random throw is like 8%.
It's like, why is he not dodging these missiles? It's like, alright.
Can't he just jump?
You know, they don't know that they explode when they the screen. You can't jump.
Nope. I'm fucking hungry. I probably have to stop here soon and eat something.
You recovered from your surgery yet, or you're still?
I am like very close. It's like the wound's like no longer a fucking like massive cut. It's like a super small little hole that's like a little bandage over it. And I just gotta replace it, the bandage every other day with like some this thing that's like a silver like salve type deal. It's super small, super tiny. It's no longer a massive like. I used to have to wear a big ass fucking wrap around my fucking stomach, like big ass like. Yeah, for like I just got rid of it like a couple days ago, so it feels way better to lay down and move around. And yeah, in about 5 more days I'll be fully healed. I'm definitely no longer taking antibiotics, so my stomach's not getting ripped apart anymore. My antibiotics are all done. I took all the fucking pills, and I'm eating better. I'm on a diet and stuff, so I've been feeling a lot healthier. Once I'm fully healed, I'm gonna start working out more, but I just don't want to risk messing it up.
Yeah, definitely don't.
Yeah. Ooh. What am I gonna eat for dinner? I might get some chicken, make some wraps, like that guy was saying earlier. OP. That sounds good. I was gonna play Callisto Protocol, but I'll just wait. I'm just too hungry. Probiotic food helps. I'm sure, but I want to eat. I want to eat something just a little more. What's the word I'm looking for? Oomph to it, I guess.
Something that puts a little hair on your chest.
Yeah. Oh, hair on your chest is fucking funny to me. It's gonna have to be a separate video of this set because it's 30 fucking games. What does that word stand for?
Until you tell me you're done with me, I'm gonna take them.
I'm not done with you, bro. I'm not like just putting you to the side for a bit. That's all. You'll always be my #1 baby girl. You know what I'm saying? Girl, you know you're my #1. You know, like like a fucking like a pimp, a fucking hoe. You know you're my #1 baby girl. Yeah, fuck, you're right about that, Extreme Zombie.
Hey, Zombie.
I definitely learned about my health and like the lack thereof. Even though I'm like losing weight and getting in like quote unquote better shape, I still needed to get my calorie intake, my sugar intake, and my like blood pressure down. And my blood pressure has been fucking amazing lately. My blood pressure used to be like 180 over like 90. Now it's like 120 over like 60.
Good lord.
Yeah, it's really good. That's like perfect. 117 over like 22 or over 62 the other day. I monitor it every day or every other day. Just doing good. Say my name when no one is around you. Say, baby, I love you. You're running games. That's a good song. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Say my name when Valdek is around you. He doesn't tell Ferrets he loves you. He must be running games.
Valdek and I can go back to being homeless after the 8v8.
Yeah. You guys are bitter enemies for almost $1,000.
Yeah.
It's only gonna get higher, I assume. I don't
Isn't it split between the rookies
That's
and
true.
the...
Oh,
No, all 1,000 go to me and
Oh yeah,
Valdek.
no. Ferret said that they're gonna be so impressed by Ferret's team that they're just gonna give him the money.
I still think we should pit the rookies against the experts and give them a handicap. I think that'll be funny.
You know what's funny? I was gonna do like the whole draft, like, and like have the rookies
It
pick
would
their
probably
team.
go on too long.
Hold on,
but-
listen to this. I was gonna have the rookies pick their teams and they also pick the team, and then it's like, oh, guess what? Roman gets Ferret's team and Ferret gets Roman's players. You know, like some fucking bullshit, like new.
Yeah, not like that.
That would have been fucked up. I was gonna do that too,
Not like
but
that.
I decided not to.
It would have just ended up like the set I'm looking at right now.
Jesus Christ.
But
God.
like, I meant more like a handicap, like, you know, like you, like during the match, like, oh, you get to limit like what moves the other team gets to use.
That's too much.
Or like, is it? I think it'd be funny.
I mean, that'd be fun, but how do you monitor? Like, I guess you could make the rule, but what if they make a mistake and they don't mean it and they're genuinely sorry? It's like,
No, you don't have to. All you have to do is tell them, hey, turn off this button in the in the freaking
oh, no heavy
controls.
punches? Oh God. Okay, now we're cooking.
I can't make a
You and I are gonna
mistake.
have to talk later. Let's just keep this one under wraps. You know what I'm saying? Oh shit! Now you're cooking.
Or just like, hey, you could take the first light bar or something.
I will say this: there is going to be a rule for captains, and you better tell your teammates. There are going to be banned stages. I'm going to have a list early, like this week coming up, and if anyone picks them, they will lose a life. Automatic. No random select. No thunder stage. No void. No Gargos is like, what's that place called? Like the fucking
Astral
you
Plane.
know, astral plane. Yep.
Hate Astral Plane.
None of that.
Devil is just so tired of Devil's Landing that he's just
My own landing. I'm sick of it. I was raised there. I don't want to see it.
All right, thank you for the games, Devil. I'm gonna stop here.
You lied. He said, whatever you're done with me, and you can stop. All right. Pussy.
You said you had to eat. This is for you.
Uh-huh, yeah, sure. Didn't he just say, whatever you're done with me? All right, Devil, I'm gonna stop.
Yeah, well, then you said I'm your favorite, so, you know.
Uh-huh.
I'm a little more secure in our relationship now.
Yeah, sure, buddy.
We
Whatever
talked
you
it
say. All right, whatever you say.
All right, I'll see you.
Later, dude. All right, chat. Is there anyone I should raid? Or should we just turn this stream off and fuck everyone else?
All right. See you later, man.
Later, brother. Ugh. Devil's Ending's not great. Sucks dicks. I hate it. I hate it. I hate it. Is anyone playing KI right now? Just me. Oh, viruses. Let's raid virus. 916. Let's go say hi to my boy. Thank you guys for hanging out. Thank you for so many subs. And for subscribing to the channel and following and the raid. Thank you guys so much for the subs, the gifted subs, and all the support, and the hanging out and chatting and learning and playing Sesame. I'll have the videos up in a couple days, probably tonight or like tomorrow night or tonight. We'll see. Within the next couple days, I'll be up a couple of them. Yeah. So I appreciate you guys, and I'll see you guys next time.